Let's shift now to the environment. I have taken due note of what Mr. Grimaldi, President of Confitarma, said yesterday during one of his interventions, speaking about shipping. And he said, our future also depends on how much care we will put on environmental issues. This is something really surprising if we think just 10 years ago what was the approach that we, the industry, had to the environment. We were afraid of the environment issues. Now the shipping say we must take care and our future depends how much care we take about the environmental issues. So I think Raphael von Heereman, who is president of CLIA, the prestigious cruise line international association, has also a presentation. Raphael, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Can I see the presentation, please? Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank you, Francesco, for inviting me to this marvelous event. I'm always impressed with Italy. I'm impressed with Naples. I'm impressed with this venue here. I never have spoken in such a nice venue like this one. Thank you very much indeed. Before starting with the environment, I would like just to give you some key figures regarding the impact of cruising in Europe and as well as in Italy. As you have already heard, Med is a cruising region #2 in the world after the Caribbean. And the total is we have more or less 6.1 million passengers. They are cruising in Europe. So the economic contribution of the cruise industry all over Europe is more than 40 billion euros per year, which went up more or less 2% from 2014. So the fact that it is growing is more or less continued growth in the popularity of cruise holidays, the growth of popularity of Europe as a cruise destination, so more non-Europeans are coming to Europe to take a cruise, in particular to Italy, and in particular the increased orders for new cruise ships in European shipyards. So the number of jobs we are creating in the EU is more or less 360,000, up 10,000 compared to 2014. And what is really important is right now that we remain the center of the world cruise shipbuilding with 4.6 billion euros. And also in Italy, I come to this later. So what does it mean for Italy right now? If you see what is in Italy, we have more than 34 ports in Italy, and they're representing 80% of the total traffic in total Italy. 5 Italian ports are in the top of the Med. So #2 is Civitavecchia, #4 is Venice, and then come Girona and Savona. So the direct economic contribution, unfortunately, in Italy went down 1% to, but still is a good figure, 4.5 billion euros. And what is also a little bit, it's sorry to hear that the passenger number went down by 3.6% compared to 2014. So in particular, what is the problem, when is this right now, that we are seeing less passenger, but this has to do, first of all, that with the voluntary commitment of the cruise companies. So we voluntarily withdraw ships with more than 96,000 tons to go to Venice. And in total, the generated jobs in Italy is with 103,000 people, also very impressive. What is also impressive is that Italy is a leading center in European cruise ship with 18 ships on order with a value of more than 10 billion euros. So if I can come now to the environment. Environment is key for us, because what we need a nice sea, we need a healthy environment, otherwise our business model is not working. Passengers are coming to the Med, they want to see a nice environment and they want to know what they're doing. So what we're doing is right now, for example, the recycling on all our ships, we have 12 to 13 different streams of recycling. So we have brown glass, yellow glass, green glass, so we have batteries, all kind of chemicals, which is separated. But what is also important for us right now is if then when we have separated everything, that we can discharge it then, or that we can leave it on the port reception facilities in the ports in order to make the recycling circle very, very nicely. So what did we do in Venice, for example? This is also a voluntary agreement between the city of Venice and the cruise industry. So as soon as we are entering the lagoon in Venice, so we are switching fuel from to 0.1, so in order to have a very less, or that we have more or less fuel without any sulfate. And what we are doing, and it was mentioned already, is that the cruise industry is right now moving to LNG. LNG is also a fossil fuel, but it has a lot of advantages. So in particular, what is important is you don't find any particulate matters or any SOx. So we have 20% less CO2 and we have up to 80% less NOx. And it's really amazing right now that more or less all the great cruise companies have ordered already LNG ships, and my colleague from Costa already mentioned it. The first one is already operating, which is the Aida Prima. They don't have any gas tank on board, so they got fueled from a truck. But the Aida Prima is more or less 40% of its time. It is on the port, so they are saving more or less 40%. Or they are not using more or less 40% this heavy fuel oil. The other thing is right now what we're also using is a lot of companies using the exhaust gas cleaning system. So this is some kind of a filter. So as soon as after the combustion, the fumes are sprayed with water, and what we can reach then is that we can reduce the NOx by up to 95%, reducing SOx close to 100%, soot reduced, and also CO monoxide reduced by 70%. Another thing is what could be possible, and it's already used in Hamburg, which is an onshore power station. So as soon as the ship is coming to the port, to Hamburg, so it is plugged to the power station, and they can switch off all the engines. The problem we are facing here in Europe is right now that more or less all the ships are used to American systems, so they don't have 50 hertz instead of 60 hertz. So this has to be converted, which is a little bit costly. And what is also important right now, that this electricity which is coming then to the onshore power is green energy. It does not make sense if it comes from a coal power station. So this is what I wanted to show, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Raphael.